Guess what? If I'm not mistaken, it's Wednesday night. It's 8:30 p.m. And that means it's time for the Eagles Elite podcast. With that being said, not a lot happened with the Eagles last week. Rest, relaxation, talk about some injuries. But one thing's very for sure and very for certain. Much needed week off. Hopefully this week was spent preparing for our division rivals, the New York Giants, who we're going to be playing on on Saturday. And that needs to be a win. Because at this point, number one seed is great. Bye week is cool. But none of that matters anymore. Until we either win the Super Bowl or get eliminated, we're playing every week. So we got to get it. We got to make it. We got to make it. We got to make it through this game to get to the NFC Championship game. We got to make it through there to get to our ultimate goal. And the thing is, you can't win it if you don't get there. So these next couple of weeks are going to be very pivotal, very crucial to Eagles Nation. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, everyone watching, all the Eagles fans, all the haters, all the curious people that don't want to talk but just want to watch in the background, we got nothing but love for you all. Being joined right now by my man Wyatt. Wyatt, what's good?
What's going on, man? Another week, we talking playoff football is finally here. We got a lot to talk about this evening. I'm ready to get into it. I'm super hyped.
And we're joined tonight, of course, by Eagles Diva.
Gang, gang.
Diva, what's good?
What's good? Eagles Nation, Bird Gang Nation, Philly Nation, whatever you want to call yourselves. What's good? How y'all feeling this week? Sitting at number one seed, about to play the Giants. Ready to get into it. Let's get it.
You already know. So we'll start off where we start off every week, kind of, with the playoff injury updates. So Wyatt, what you got for us, bro?
For the first time in weeks now, Jalen Hurts is officially not on the injury report at all. This dude is as healthy as he's going to get as of right now. They're saying he's out there slinging it in practice. They're saying he's looking good. I'm super hyped. Everybody expects to see the Jalen we've been seeing all season in this playoff game, MVP Jalen. So, that's the expectations at this point. Only other thing really notable is Josh Sweat is back, full participant in practice. Looks like he's going to be good to go. Lane Johnson is full participant in practice. He's out here lifting dudes off their feet, they're saying. Like, he's still got that strength, and he's still able to do what he does. The only question is, how's he going to feel when he's actually going to the ground? And, if he's getting, pushed over, getting in some of these scuffles, how's it going to be handled in an actual game situation? Who knows? But, it's very encouraging seeing what we're seeing in practice as of right now when it comes to him. Avonte Maddox, he's this huge question mark still as of right now. He's still not participating in practice, but he's not on the IR. He's not in his walk-in boot. He's around the facility and everything. It's just nobody really knows. They're not answering questions about him. We still don't even know what the extent of the toe injury is. So I'm assuming they expect him back at some point. I'm not sure if he's going to be ready for this game, though. I'm guessing they're hoping he's going to be back at least for the next game if there is one, and then so on from there.
Well, as long as we got Sweat back, that's a plus because we need Sweat. We ain't got Vontae. We need Sweat.
Yeah. And my guess is they'll have CJ GJ up there in the nickel or something, and then they'll have Reed Blankenship moving back or something. I don't know. We'll see. But we can't look at that second game with the Giants though, and base everything off of that because we were playing very vanilla offense and defense. We weren't showing everything we have, and plus, they weren't even playing their starters out there. So the only real game we have to look at is that week 14 matchup whenever it comes to comparing and seeing what's possibly there as far as the outcome and the game itself.
We do got to watch Saquon because he is back and he did look like the old Saquon. So we got to watch out for that. What up, King DV and Philly? Appreciate y'all tuning in.
For sure. Me, man, injury-wise, who we got is who we got. I would love to have Avonte Maddox. That would make a big difference. But we do have CJ back.
Mm-hmm.
We can play him in that slot corner spot and allow Blankenship to still play safety, right? So that's a help. That's versatility. That's one of the reasons why I was very excited about this pickup, because he's a guy that can play that slot corner and safety. You have injuries throughout the year, so guys that have versatility are very important. He's going to be a big piece of whatever we're able to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think at this point in the season, like going into the playoffs, I think we're very fortunate. I mean, look at some of the other teams; they're banged up more than us. I mean, other than Avante, I mean, there's nobody in the league really that's at 100% at this point in the season. But as far as like serious injuries, I feel like we've dodged some bullets over the course of the season, and we've been very lucky to be at where we're at right now.
Right, and the injuries that we have had have been early enough in the season that we're able to be strong where we're at now.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. So we got through our injuries. A little something we're going to do real quick. We're going to come back on, and we're going to dig into the meat and potatoes of the week. Let's go.
The kick is away, and the kick it's good! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. You just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
Much needed. Always gets my Eagles juices flowing.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so we pretty much discussed our playoff injuries. The Giants seem to be getting, healthier. Seem to have a lot of their guys back playing better. So that's fine. I've said all along, I want to smoke. What I mean by that, give me your best shot. If we can't take it, we can't take it, right? But I believe we could take everyone's best shot and give them more than they can give us. But that's what you want in the playoffs. I've had other Eagles fans say like, oh, I want the easy route. I hope we get to play this team. I hope we get to play this team. I hope this team upsets this team. Look, man, however the chips fall, let's go out there. Let's dominate. Let's play Philadelphia Eagles football, and let's win some games. That's what we do. That's why we're here. So with that, we'll slide on into the important part of the week. We got some other little small things we'll discuss as well, but there's no need to keep waiting. Round 3, Giants versus Eagles. Let's break this bad boy down because this is important. This is for advancement or going home. So Eagles Diva, set us off.
So like I said last night, we're gonna have to watch out for the passing game. Daniel Jones did throw for over 300 yards. He made 24 out of 35 passes. Saquon Barkley was just out there bulldozing people down. They had good amount of rushing and running yards. So we're gonna have to be careful on both sides of the ball. We're gonna have to shut down the running game. We're gonna have to get pressure on Jones and shut down the passing game, and we have to protect the ball. That is the most important key things I feel like Philadelphia must do. As I've said all year, each time we've lost because of our own accord and play calling and just being careless. It wasn't because teams are better. Obviously, Philadelphia is the better team in the whole NFL, probably in the NFL and NFC East. So, the games we lost it on our own. It wasn't because nobody beat us. We beat ourselves. So if we could go out and maintain and control the clock, hold the ball, shut down the passing game and the running game, we in there all day. That's all we gotta do.
Why? What you got?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think the key is definitely getting pressure on Daniel Jones and stopping that run. like Diva said. I mean, this team, we've been able to stop that run for the most part this back half of the season very well. I feel like that we should definitely be able to do that to an extent with Saquon, and then you have to make Daniel Jones run, which we'll see how that happens because sometimes this secondary that we have just cannot tackle, and they've let some of these running QBs get away on third down or able to get that first down very easily. I'm more worried about like the middle of that field as when it comes to our defense. And like you said, I mean, Daniel Jones has been slinging it, but I'm not really scared of those wide receivers, especially with Bradbury and Slay on those opposite sides. I am worried about Avonte being out there and having Jonathan Gannon try to fix that middle of the field. Who knows what they've been trying to like cook up for the playoffs here. My guess is we're going to be seeing stuff maybe we haven't seen during the season or stuff we haven't seen in a while in the season during these playoffs. But you got to run the ball for the most part. We haven't been doing, I saw a stat where like throughout the whole season, we're like ranked second or third when it comes to running, but the last like 3 or 4 weeks we're ranked like 20th or something or 19th. And I was like, we need to go back to what makes this team great, run the ball, take that clock down, open up that passing game. Cause you still got 2 killers on the outside there and they're going to be eaten. And plus I think Dallas Goedert, this is a Dallas Goedert game written all over it too. I mean, you saw how the Vikings were using their tight ends against them. And Dallas Goedert, man, he's better than all those dudes. So he's going to be out here feasting. And I mean, Miles Sanders and, of course, Boston Scott, the Giant Slayer, he should be out there feasting as well. But I mean, if all goes to plan and we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, which, like Diva said, which is probably the only way we will lose is if is our own mistakes and just bad coaching. This should be like week 14. This should be a repeat.
Yeah, man. I think for me, looking at a couple of different things. So, Jalen Hurts, we're going to need him to be the Jalen Hurts that we've seen all year, the guy that people have argued should be the MVP. He won't be, but he's at least been in the conversation. We're going to need that guy with the precise passing, fearless running, but smart fearless running. Because, see, a lot of people have talked about he's a running quarterback. Running quarterbacks always get hurt. He got hurt on a play that he doesn't normally make. And I do agree with King DB. Dallas Goedert should over that middle. He's a yak goat too. So, but I think he has to be back to the runs that he were doing earlier in the season before he was getting injured, which was running the ball outside. When there's nothing left, go down. Or if they think you're going out, you can cut in and make a play, cool. But if you're not, just go out. And just the protecting himself portion of it. I don't like to see him running up the middle. I don't like to see him running a whole bunch of sneaks on fourth down. I don't mind if it happens sometimes because sometimes it makes sense, but we need other ways to score in those situations as well. I think, arm strength, accuracy, they should still be there. He got a chance to play last week, get a little bit of the rust off, culminating the regular season. We were able to win that game. So a lot of people have said, oh, you beat the Giants, but the Giants were playing their second string, sometimes the third string players. So they have confidence against you now. And they feel like they can beat you. We're going to talk about that. We're going to make that little thing we talk about here in a minute or two. But before that, we need to run the ball, as Eagles Diva said, and we need to show that we are going to stick with the run game. We need to eat up the clock because the best friend of any quarterback, any offense, even any defense is a good, solid, strong run game that's eating up the clock. We're going to need to eat up that clock this week. We are going to need to be smart, control the time of possession, take the plays that are given to us. If they're playing off, giving you the short throws, take them, right? When the shots come, don't be scared to take the shots. We have the defense if something happens and we end up going 3 and out, or we end up, heaven forbid, we end up getting a turnover on a bad play, we'll get it back. Turnover battle is important. We're going to need to have less turnovers than the Giants. We need to get the Giants to turn the ball over. That's something they've been really good at for most of their games this year. We have GJ back. I expect him to play that third corner slot position. And if he does, that gives us a guy who can do some things that Scott can't do, right? If Maddox can play, that'd be great. Love to see him out there. But if he can't, thank heavens, GJ is back. Blankenship has played well when he's had his opportunities. That line is going to attack the Giants. The Giants line is going to attack us, but I feel like as long as um, our line can stay whole, we're going to be good. I know Lane Johnson was out; he's back. If he's good to go, that does add another layer to our offense. I didn't really miss him, and I'm not saying that things may not happen different if he was there, but I didn't feel like a lot of time watching. I was like, oh man, if Lane Johnson was there, that wouldn't have happened. Obviously,
Yeah.
pulling and things that he does differently, we weren't able to do, but he showed that he was there. So I'd love you guys' comments and then your thoughts on what happened with the Giants, the last game, and how you think that impacts both teams.
I mean, I saw something like they're kind of like different pundits were breaking it down a little bit about the last game, and they really played man to man against us the last time. My expectation is they're going to go a little different with it, because that's when we saw Devontae and AJ really, breaking out and breaking off those routes and getting big plays. So my guess is they're going to try to switch it up a little bit in the secondary, try to shut that down a little bit. But like I said before, and DV, that's just going to open up the middle and everything for Goddard. This is really where Shane Steichen and Sirianni can get creative and start using these pieces and using some trickery in here, like we were seeing during most of the season. And I feel like that's kind of some of the stuff they've been. I don't know if they've been withholding it from us, but we haven't been seeing that kind of stuff the last couple weeks of the season, I feel like. And maybe I don't know if that's just strategic. Is it strategery or are they just going to go out there and just going to be bad coaching again? Like they just forgot how to play football. I don't know. Just my common sense is just telling me that they're just been kind of holding stuff back, preparing for these playoffs all this time. But who knows? But I don't know. It's hard to look at a game all those weeks ago and use that to prepare for this one. But I mean, it's a division game. They know who we are. We know who they are. It's going to be a tough fight. But I mean, who knows? We could replicate that week 14, but it's going to be hard. You're not going to go out there and drop a 40 burger every night on a team. So my expectation, especially with them running high off of that win, they're going to try to come in here and it's going to be a tough fight for at least a half. And then maybe we'll pull away in that second half, but we ain't the Vikings. We're not the Vikings. We have a way better defense than the Vikings, way better defensive line, and our offense, we have way more weapons that we can kill you with as far as than the Vikings. And we all knew the Vikings were frauds in the first place. I mean, they were like every game they won was like within one score, or they had to win it by a field goal, especially against the first game they played against the Giants. But I mean, like we all saw that coming. It was just a matter of who was going to knock them out. But we're not the Vikings. And we are a much tougher threat in the NFL. There's a reason we're the number 1 seed, and we didn't come this far and use all of our resources to get beat by Daniel Jones in the playoffs. Like I'm not sold. This is still Daniel Jones we're talking about. This isn't Tom Brady. This isn't Aaron Rodgers. This isn't even Dak Prescott. This is Daniel Jones we're talking about.
I agree with Wyatt. Like it's kind of hard to use a game 14 or even the last game that we played them to prepare for a playoff game because it's a different atmosphere. It's not a regular season game. It's either you win or you go home. So I feel like either way, I feel like we can win it. We just have to go out there and play smart. And as far as Nick Sirianni, like I don't know because he likes to get cute, and maybe he thought what he was doing the last couple of weeks was cute, but it was stupid. Like it just didn't make no sense. Not sticking to your run game when that's when you've been sticking with the whole season, and you see how successful it has been, not only for Miles and our running backs, but for Jalen to open up the field. So for you to just all of a sudden abandon that, I really hope that was you saying, okay, well, we're going to, use it, amp it up even more in the playoffs and do better with it. But I just feel like we got to go out there and not think about what happened in you know what I'm saying, in the regular season. This is postseason, and we got a job to finish. In order to finish that, you got to stay focused forward and what's going on. I feel like everybody on the team knows that we can make the Super Bowl and win it, and I feel like that's what they're focusing on. I'm just coaching because coaching has been the problem in the past couple of games besides us just fumbling the ball and not taking care of the ball. But my thing is coaching, making sure that these coaches are calling very smart plays from here on out. Like no dumb play calling. Don't even think about it on both ends of the ball.
Yeah, got to play a complete game.
You do.
Can't have like the defense playing well and then the offense just stalling, or the other way around.
And we've had some games, a lot of games like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say, I agree with a lot of the things that you guys. So actually, I agree with everything you guys said. I would add to that defense turnovers. We got to get back to being the defense that we were before the Avonte Maddox injury, before the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson injury. You know, Sweat back, another guy that we could rotate in. We're gonna be able to put in 4 and 4 fresh guys who, can play in the NFL, are very good at what they do, and want to get to that quarterback. You just think about how many sacks we had this year, right? Think about how dominant that line was. Um, the safeties that we have, the linebackers that we have a solid group that's gelled together throughout the season. It's the matter of everybody going out there and doing what they're supposed to do. Jonathan Gannon is a big part of that. I hope, and this is from deep down within me, I hope that we've been holding back because we're going to bring out all these amazing things in the playoffs. The playoffs are here, guys. So all this stuff, all this one-upsmanship, holding stuff back, only using vanilla playbooks because we want to hold things. Okay, you've held things. Now you've got to start releasing. You got to start getting this stuff out into the universe. We got to get these plays out. We got to run the ball, more trickery, more real RPO plays. Short passes. The screen game has been kind of abandoned for the last, I'd say, month and a half. Get back to some of the things that make us successful. I'm not saying they need to be done all the time. But let's find plays that work. Let's go out here and show the New York Giants who the better team in the NFC East is. Nothing's guaranteed. So I don't say this to say, oh, it's a guarantee the Eagles going to win. To me, and I believe I speak for my coach when I say this, we're the better team. But the better team doesn't always win, right? The team that goes out there and executes the best in that specific game is who wins. So for us, that has to be Saturday. There is no tomorrow. There is no holding back plays. There is no this. There is no that. We have to go out there and we have to outscore the Giants. I don't care if we beat the Giants by 30 points. I don't care if we beat the Giants by 3 points. When the clock strikes 0, I just want there to be more points on the Eagle side than there are on the Giants side. And that's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. They're not going to lay down for us. They're coming out here to win this game just like us. Again, I think they believe that because of what they were able to do week 18, they now have some secret formula that they're going to be able to use to beat us. I just want to say, Giants fans, I hope that's not your hope. I hope you're not putting all your faith, hope, love, and belief in what happened in. Because I do want you to understand it was impressive what you did. You went out there with backups. You played well. But understand, according to what I've seen, we were being vanilla. You shouldn't see that team this week.
No.
We're here to win.
Well, first
anything
of all,
less than a win. Go ahead.
We can't forget Kirk Cousins is at 1 o'clock. If you're not playing at 1 o'clock, it's no good. I hope y'all don't think because y'all beat Kirk Cousins after 1 o'clock that y'all nah.
Yeah.
Remember,
I think we just got to bring the pressure. And I know Gannon will do it, but you got to open it. If they start the game, if they get the opening drive, you got to bring the pressure every time. Get to Daniel Jones. Put from that first snap, those first 3 plays, you should be blitzing. I would just put it all at him. And then that way, I just feel like the crowd and the link is going to be so electric, man. And everybody's going to be so pumped. If you go out there and get a sack or 2 in those first couple plays, that sets the tone going forward.
Honestly,
yeah,
if Gannon doesn't adjust, then the player's gonna have to. Your team captain is gonna have to get out there and say, "Hey, boys,
coach, we gonna do this.
We got to do it." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think we just gotta let Jalen be Jalen in this too. I don't want to see them trying to hold him back or doing anything. This is a playoff game. You got to let him be himself. You got to let him go out there and do what he's been doing all season long. Obviously, we don't want to see him running up the middle and taking hits, but I mean, he's going to do everything in his power to go out there and get that extra yard or get that touchdown or get the win in general. So, I mean, we just got to let him be him. And I feel like if you do that within the offense, then we'll be good. I'm more worried about our defense than our offense really in this game.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about both, honestly, and I think the offensive concern is just from Hurts' health and not just the health, but like taking the hits, not being in his mind, like not having people telling him, oh, don't take the hits, Jalen, just, whatever, throw the ball again. Let him, like you said, he needs to play his way. He needs to be back there, scan the field, make his pre-snap reads, know where he's going to go, if he's going to run, if he's going to throw, trust his instincts, and play the way he's been playing. Don't allow what's been happening off the field with the injury affect the way that you play on this field. Get out here and be you. Show people that Philly is your team, that you're the best quarterback out here, and you do that by winning games. And I don't care if he has 200 yards. Yeah. I don't care if he has 200 yards, 500 yards pass, as long as we win the game. Whatever it takes to win, that's what's important this week. Whatever it takes to win. If that's the shorter plays, put up Philly's coming here. Hopefully no injuries. Yeah, we don't want injuries. We don't want any of that. So, guys, question for you both. How do you feel our wide receiver group? So I'm counting Quez Watkins, Zach Pascal on this as well. And we can throw the tight ends in if you'd like. Matches up against the Giants secondary.
I think they match up wonderfully. I mean, you got A.J. Brown, who's always open, who always catch the ball. You got Devontae Smith, who is catching the ball and making outstanding catches on the sideline with 2 feet in. I think that I know our wide receiver core and tight end is way more better than the Giants. Period.
Yeah, I think as far as our special, like our skill players, I think we're on another level. We're on a different tier. So I think no matter who's out there, we should have somebody open at any given time when it comes to whether it's Devontae, AJ. I mean, I don't want to see them going to Quez on big downs or anything, man. Like we tried that. We've been there. We've done that. I don't want to see it happen. You got Miles Sanders. You got Dallas Goedert. You got AJ and Devontae. You have other weapons you could use. Even Pascal. Go to Pascal. You haven't used him much. I mean, you've been kind of having him waiting in the wings. Bring him out and have some big plays. But man, you cannot be going to Quez Watkins on some of these big plays, man. Wait, he's just be giving up the football or not catching it in some of these big plays. He's had some decent moments this season, but towards the end of the back half of the season, it's been very hit or miss with him.
Completely agree. I'd also say, man, for me, I do think we have advantages there, but I think the biggest thing is making sure that we're on the same page, making sure that Hurts and the receivers are on the same page. We don't want one of those where the receiver thinks he should be turning inside, he turns outside, like what's happening with the Bucs last game. Right, just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. I think if we could do that, and I feel confident that they are. Right, Quez. But I think if everybody can be on the same page, I think this is going to be a very exceptional game for the offense. I do say the concern with the defense is the play calling. We have seen the offense call great games. We've seen the defense call a couple of okay games, but we've yet to see the defense call a really great game. So. Philly says what I think we all hope for.
Hope so. But we got a couple games to go, and the Giants are in our way.
One game at a time.
Yeah, one game at a time.
So the first thing is we got to beat the Giants. But then, we're going to be playing some of these other teams. So real quick, just want to take a couple of minutes. Let's talk about these other matchups that we have coming up, right? Because we know we're playing. But there are other matchups, and why they're important is, again, like I said when we start talking about the playoffs, we are going to be playing one of these teams, hopefully, in Arizona. Right? So if that's the case,
start scouting.
Why not know?
Start peeping
exactly
what's out there.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we do know, besides our game this week, we have another game in the NFC. But before we get to that game, let's go in chronological order of when they're played. So we have the Jaguars at the Chiefs, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Saturday. Who do you guys think is going to win that game?
I don't know. That's gonna be a good one. You got Dougie Doug and Andy Reid. You got Trevor Lawrence with the Ken hair, and then you got Patrick Mahomes with the. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I ain't even gonna take the Jaguars as an underdog because watching them come back from 0 to win the game,
That was wild.
that was wild. Like, and it seems like Trevor Lawrence is really starting to click.
Yeah.
With his offense, and Travis Etienne is like balling. So I don't know. It's all about clock possession. I feel like that game is going to be really about clock possession, who has the ball at the end, and who scores the most points, and who holds on to the ball. Because I don't think Trevor Lawrence then would be able to come back from like a 20-something, 30-something down with Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry, I just don't think it's possible with them. So as far as the Jaguars, they got to score early. They definitely can't have Trevor Lawrence throwing that many interceptions at all. And their defense seems like it's starting to click a lot better as well. So they're playing a lot harder and smarter. But yeah, that's gonna be a good game, man. I don't even know.
Yeah, they better hope they get the ball first and that their defense came to play. I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying. If they get behind, I don't think they're coming back because the Chiefs are just going to keep scoring points. There's no way you're going to stop them. I mean, you may stop them for a drive, but you're not stopping them multiple drives in a row. There's just no way. Not in the playoffs.
Yo,
Giovanni.
Scrub Zero.
Philly says that Dallas is going down.
They got a tough matchup.
Yep. Patty mayonnaise in the Kansas City cheeks. I'm for it.
Me too. Love it. Love the patty mayonnaise, though.
Yeah, Jags lost the first game to the Chiefs by 10, and they won the turnover battle by 3. Well,
yeah. I mean, they were winning for the first half of that game, from what I remember, too, I think. But
the thing,
go ahead, man.
The only thing for me is just in order to beat Kansas City, if you're Jacksonville, which I don't think they're going to be able to do yet, but in order to get that win, there's a lot of things that you would need to do. You would need to play turnover-free football. You're going to need to start with them. You come in the field, they score a touchdown, you have to score a touchdown. They score a field goal, you also have to score a touchdown. You have to put yourself in a position where they're needing to catch up to you. You're putting them constantly behind. You're turning them over. You're winning the turnover battle. Those are the ways that Jacksonville can win. And, of course, control the clock. Keep Mahomes off the field as much as possible. That's what I think they're going to be able to do to try to win this game. But I just don't see them being quite ready for that step yet. I think it's growing pains this year. But I think they make it a good game. We saw last week, I thought it was going to be a lot of blowouts that weren't. I think you're getting to the point in the season where you have all good teams playing. Either good teams or teams that have good momentum coming into it. So I think we should expect to see that continue this week. Good close games.
Yeah, I think the Jaguars kind of are like how we were last year a little bit. Like they overachieved getting in the playoffs, and they were able to get that playoff win. So now they laid the foundation. This offseason, they go out, get some more pieces. They fill in some of those holes, and they go and make a stronger run next year. I mean, as long as they got Dougie P, I mean, and some of those pieces they have, they could be a good team here going through the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we have Dougie P.
Absolutely. We have the Bengals and the Bills coming up next. I'm going to just be real simple and quick about this. Cincinnati's line is hard. I just don't see that line doing enough to protect Joe Cool for him to be able to put up enough points to beat the Buffalo Bills. Could it happen? Yeah, but I'm not going to pick that upset because I don't trust the Bengals line, and your offensive line is extremely important. Now, the Bills have some struggles on their line as well. Let's not get it twisted. But the Bengals are going out there with second and third string guys at line play in the playoffs. And you saw it last week. It almost cost them last week. And if Buffalo cannot capitalize on that and get a win this week, then Buffalo is not who we thought they were.
Yeah, I mean, this one it's such a toss up. I feel like to me it's not that like it's not as easy as just picking one or the other because I feel like both teams could be had in this one. I feel like the Bills, Josh Allen makes some just wild mistakes sometimes. Like I don't know what he's thinking on some of these plays. Um, so I mean, if you had that, what was it like a third string QB for the Dolphins doing that, man? I could see Joey B going out here and them trying to cook something up to protect him a little bit, at least maybe get him to move out of that pocket, get him moving to throw the ball a little bit. I don't know. I feel like Joey B's a little bit more safe with the football than Josh Allen is, but I feel like both defenses could be had at certain points. So I mean, it's hard for me to pick a winner in that one. I kind of want to go with the Bengals though over the Bills. I kind of want to go with the upset.
Let's do it then. There you go.
Yeah,
Eagles Diva.
I'm kind of there because just watching how the Bills played Sunday against a third string quarterback, they didn't play too. Like they really almost lost that game, literally. So, and it kind of seems like it reminded me of the game that they played Miami the first time. And so yeah, I've been watching. He hasn't. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with Josh Allen, but he does make some crazy throws, and his decision making is not good at times. And that with the Cincinnati defense, that could really hurt Josh Allen. And he has been throwing a few interceptions here lately as well. So I don't know, but then I know Cincinnati did have some O linemen that were out that got hurt during the Ravens game, so that could affect, like Scrub Zero said, could affect Joe Burrow. Being able to stay in the pocket and get enough time to scramble around. But yeah, I'm with Wyatt on this, man. It's really hard to pick because to me, either team could be had because, I mean, the Bengals really just got started and maybe this is the momentum that they needed to carry them, because they did have a lot of good players. I mean, Jamar Chase was hurt, Mixon was in and out at the beginning of the season, and now they seem like they're starting to get healthy and everybody's clicking. So I kind of want to go with the Bengals on this.
Yeah,
There
it's
you
a matter if
go.
they can run the ball too, especially like with the banged up O lineman and everything. If the Bengals can find some ways to run the ball to help Joey B out, I think they can get the dub. But we'll see.
Well, there
It's
you
going to be a
go.
good game, that's for sure.
Joe
I'm
Burrow.
out on the island by myself. It's all good. I've been there before. Been right sometimes, been wrong sometimes. Now, the other game that is of high importance to um, Eagles and Giants fans, we have the Dallas Cowboys visiting the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to let you guys start it off. What are your thoughts?
Same thing with what we were talking about with the Giants. The 49ers are not the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers have been trash all season as far as offense and defense. And you getting a damn good offense right now that's clicking, and you got a damn good defense that's clicking right now too. And you got a quarterback that's prone to throwing interceptions and pick sixes. Best of luck to you. That's all I could say, man. I don't want to be in their shoes right now.
I mean, I see Dak leaving with about what he got now, 14, 15 picks, is it, or is it more
15
than
now.
Okay, well, I see him leaving that mug with about almost 20, close to it, because San Francisco defense ain't no joke. Like, they're going to tear his tail up. You hear me? They are going to get pressure on him. The run game is probably going to be non-existent. Nobody even thinks about Zeke no more. You really only got to worry about is Pollard. As long as they shut down CB Lamb and Gallup, Dallas ain't got no chance, y'all. They no chance. I don't see no chance in hell that they gonna win this game.
And the 49ers O line is like one of the best O lines up there with ours. That Tampa O line been going through it all season. They've been banged up. They had to get their center back to come in the playoffs off of IR. It's going to be a good matchup. I feel like it'll be close through maybe like that first half, similar to our game a little bit. But I think once it goes in that second half, they're going to be starting to put up some points on them. But you never know. I mean, like I mentioned before, Brock Purdy, he's been playing really good, but I feel like there's going to be one game that he's just going to, it's going to show, the rookie in him a little bit. He's going to get maybe that Dallas defense can put some pressure on him a little bit, but that O-line they have is really strong.
Yeah.
And they have McCaffrey too, man. And Dallas gets run all over.
So Scrub Zero says basically kind of my thought process.
Right.
Matchup favors San Fran. Dallas would have to play flawless in order to possibly win. I think the other piece, too, is like you just said, the running game. Dallas has been susceptible to the run all year. Tampa Bay does not run the ball. They should, but they don't. So when you think about that, you look at the fact that, Elijah Mitchell's back, Christian McCaffrey's there. They're going to feast off out of that backfield. Brock Purdy has been playing well. This could be a game where he comes back down a little bit. We don't know. But I still think with that defense, the weapons, because if you look at what Brock Purdy's been asked to do, and I verified this by asking the actual diehard 49ers fan. Brock Purdy throws 2, 3 to 5 yard passes. And you've got the Yak Goat George Kittle. You got Yak Goat Debo Sanders. You got Brandon Ayuk playing well. You have so many weapons on that team. They're able to do so many things. So I think San Francisco has to be beat by a team if they're going to lose a team like the Eagles. And what I mean when I say there's a team that also has just as many weapons. I think Dallas has sometimes weapons. Sometimes they play well, sometimes they don't. And I think that's going to be the difference that's going to affect them in this game. Dak's going to have to play another game like last week, second best or maybe the first best game of his career in order for them to have a chance. So there's a lot that would have to happen to me for Dallas to have a chance to win this game. I am also on the bandwagon with you guys. I see San Fran winning this game, and hopefully for me, meeting us in the NFC Championship game.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was going to say. We need the matchup to happen. Like, I feel like the 49ers and this Eagles team match up so well as far as offense and defense. And I feel like the only real piece you have, the difference is you have a rookie and then you have Jalen Hurts, like a potential MVP candidate. That is possibly the piece that puts us over the top as far as, facing each other.
Yeah, it's got to happen, man. We've got to make it happen.
That's
going to be an amazing game if it happens.
27.
Put it on prime time.
Because that year the Patriots were good and then we were good. So, and you see, we came out as the better team. So,
yeah, but we gotta get through these New York Football Giants, I guess. First, go Daniel Jones, Danny Penny,
Danny.
Old Danny boy.
Old Danny boy.
I hate to be them. I wouldn't want to go to the link to play in a playoff game. That's for sure.
No, that mug is going to be rocking Saturday. You hear me?
On the belly of the beast.
I want it so loud that you can't even hear. They can't even hear the plays being called.
Yeah, they're going to have to go to a silent count.
Quick question, guys. Any playoff storylines you guys want to talk about? It could be Eagles related. Anybody else?
I mean, we kind of touched on a little bit there about with like Brock Purdy. Like, I don't know how far he's going to be able to take him, but I mean, that system that the Shanahan's cooked up, it's something else. That's for sure. It seems like it's just a plug and play. Imagine if they get like an elite QB in that system, and they go out and get like another. I mean, Brandon Ayuk's great, Debo is great, but imagine you get like DeAndre Hopkins or someone that's possibly being traded. Go out there and get like a huge talent as well with those guys, man. Ooh, and if maybe you get Tom or one of these other free agent QBs, or maybe you stick with Purdy, who knows, or Trey Lance.
Is Gronk trying to come back?
Yeah, I mean, you got Gronk and Kittle. That'd be crazy.
Right.
I don't know, man. I love the storyline if we ended up playing San Fran. I feel like that would be the best matchup. That's like what you look at if like the Bengals or Bills, or like the Bills and like Chiefs or something in the AFC. Those are the type of matchups you want to see in like the conference championships before you get to the Super Bowl. And hopefully it's our team versus one of those other great teams in the Super Bowl. We need the Philadelphia Andy Reid Super Bowl. We need that to happen.
To the Los Angeles Falcons. They are the Los Angeles Vikings.
Those Viking fans going through it. It's every year they get the hopes up. You have a great season. Shut down first round.
Well, as long as you got Kirk Cousins, I don't even know why you think your season's going to be great. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I got to be honest. I love the Los Angeles Falcons just because if you remember in that Super Bowl, they did the same type of thing. So yeah, I definitely feel scrub on the Los Angeles Falcons. Hey, Los Angeles Vikings works for me as well. But I think for me, it's a couple of storylines that kind of stand out. So one of those would be obviously the Bills and the Bengals playing again. They didn't finish their last game because of the injury to Hamlin. They're going to get a chance to step back out on the field and win that game. And if the Bills do win that game, or I believe the Bengals as well, I'd have to double check. They would play the Chiefs on a neutral site because they didn't get to play the other game.
Yeah.
So that neutral site would, of course, be in Atlanta. So that could be an interesting thing too, especially if the Bills win. Bills versus Chiefs in Atlanta, neutral site. That takes away a lot of the advantages of having being a top seed, because obviously with the Chiefs, depending on who you play, you're not at home, even though you're the number one seed. So that's difficult. But I think it's fair based on the situation of what happened. Also,
Patty
the
Mahomes
Jags
never beat Joey B. Also, so that'd be crazy.
And also you have the Dougie P, Andy Reid things. You've got the mentee going against the mentor. So I think that's a big thing to look at as well. You've got the NFC East matchup between us and the Giants. A lot of storylines going to that. Is Dabo going to be able to draw plays to dominate the Eagles defense? You've got, the 49ers and Cowboys, old school rivalry. The heyday was back in the 80s and early 90s when this rivalry really meant something. I know these are two teams that really hate each other. You look at the possibilities for next week. You could have Allen against Mahomes, or you could have Burrow against Mahomes, right? You could have the upstart Jags going to either Buffalo or to Cincinnati. You never know. There's so many different things.
In Dallas.
Yeah, that could happen.
Have another
Dallas,
division game.
Yeah. We could win this week, turn around and have to play Dallas next week because none of us picked the 49ers to lose this game, excuse me. But let's be honest, they could.
Yeah.
Right?
It's playoffs.
Giovanni says Eagles better win. If we lose, I'm going to be so upset. Any words on Jalen Hurts' injury? Oh, yeah, you must.
If we lose, I'm going to be so pissed.
Part. Yeah.
I'm going to be so mad. Like, this whole season wasted. You went and got 14-3
and you go
first round bye, and you're going to lose to the Giants.
Yeah, then you go lose to the midgets, man. Y'all
pissed off the whole all season.
You hear me? I'm going to find their email, and I'm going to email.
I'm going to be still mad on draft night.
Bruh, I'm still mad for the Jalen Reagor pick, okay? So I don't let stuff go. Man, we should win.
I'm hoping.
Go back. Because, of course, I knew this was going to happen. Somebody's going to make a comment. We're going to want to go back and, discuss things a little bit. And that's fine. We got to put the preview back up. So here's the simple facts of the matter. First, Giovanni gives us a laugh. Simple fact of the matter is this. We talked all preseason, all off season, early in the season. We're the last undefeated team. We had all these great accomplishments. We had 2,000-yard receivers, 10 touchdowns from all these different guys, and all these wonderful stuff, all these people with double-digit sacks. We said team sack record, all these different things. These things are all great. These are all accolades that are great. But at the end of the day, we go out here and we lose in the first round. What have we really done? We are in a unique situation as Eagles fans. We have a quarterback that's playing above what we expected, but has consistently done it, for the season. We're not going to count the last game because it's rust. We have 2 number 1 wide receivers. We have a very good wide receiver, I think, in Pascal. And we have a guy in Watkins who can make the plays, but he's got to learn to fight for the ball and get down. Calcaterra has made some catches. Of course, Goddard is big. Line's amazing. We go 3 deep, should be 4 at running back. Sherman needs to get introduced. There are so many pieces, but they have to be used properly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be the most important part. And Scrub, I agree.
Yeah, I think so too. Easily, if it wasn't for those missed games.
Yeah,
that's all right. MVPs don't have a good record of going and winning the Super Bowl though, so I'm all right if Jalen don't get it. We on the higher accolades, hopefully.
And see, for y'all that don't know, Screw Up is a Giants fan.
Scrub.
Uh-oh. It's gonna be a good matchup though. I'm super excited for this game. I am. I'm hyped. One of my buddies is gonna be in the building, man. I'm jelly.
Philly puts I'm an Eagles fan. But yeah, man. This is big. This
huge.
is like
biggest game of the year right here.
This is like the moment where you just say, what are y'all gonna do?
Yeah.
Like,
and if you're looking at it from a Giants fan, it's like they're playing with house money. It's like we didn't really think we were going to be here, but we're here. So if we lose, it's expected. But if we win, then we beat the best team in the league. They're going to hold it over, the heads for who knows how long. But I mean, it's kind of a win-win for them in a way. It's like, with us, it's like we better win, or we're going to be hearing about this for years unless we make a nice run next year.
Yeah, that is true.
Agreed.
I agree.
I mean, we've been talking about it. This is step one on the road to where we want to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got to get there.
Yeah. It's got to come out and play safe football.
That's it. Smart and safe football and control the clock.
Smart and safe football. And be well prepared. Like I saw apparently they were kind of game planning for them Giants early. And then they saw that they were going to be playing them, and then they really hit the books. But hopefully they got something cooking up. Hopefully they're going to bring out some stuff we haven't seen, and something they've been drawing up and kind of keeping in the back of that playbook for a while. They got that secret green playbook from the Water Boy that Henry Winkler had.
And we just need to make sure that Brian Dabo looks like a little cherub so it'll work out properly. If you've seen Water Boy, you get that reference. But so, y'all, final thoughts on the week, putting the bow on the show. We know what time it is. We know what we need to do. We can talk about it for another 3 hours. But at the end of the day, performing on that field is what's going to matter. We can get it done. We are that team. But we have to go out and execute. We have to play to the best of our abilities from now until the Super Bowl and through the Super Bowl. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, execute, play smart football, have a great game plan. Like we all mentioned, let Jalen Hurts be Jalen Hurts. Go out here and go do what he has been doing all season. Let him rip a couple deep balls down the field to AJ or Devontae. I'm looking for some of those big plays here, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went for some of these small dink and dunk, open up that pass game a little bit. But more importantly, run that ball.
Yes. Yes. Say it again.
Run that ball. Run that ball.
Yes.
Go up to answer your question. We hope so.
Yeah, we hope so.
We truly hope so. Now, we need to win the turnover battle as well. And I just want to go ahead and put this out there. New York Giants fans. It had to be said. Yeah. It had to be said.
Oh, man.
That Giants are the only thing that stands between this team and one more game to the Super Bowl. This has been this team's goal all season long. You guys weren't really sure what you were going to be this year. You guys overachieving. You were in our way. You're in the Eagles' way. So I'm sorry, but not sorry. We got to do this to you on Saturday night.
Yeah. Going home. Going back to New York with an L. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hope you
out.
have safe travels out of Philly.
Shout out to the NFC East, man. 3 of the 4 teams still alive in the playoffs, but at least one is not going to be after this week.
I hate to be that team that didn't make the playoffs.
So would I. But yeah, man, this is the week. Like, this is what we've been waiting for. And we come out here and we get this dub this week. We have a lot to talk about next week. If we come out here and get this L next week, if you are not an Eagles fan, you may want to tune in because it's going to be one anger-filled, tiraded hour.
Oh, it's going to be loud.
Football.
It's going to be a loud hour.
We don't get this W.
I mean, that's a very well could be the score, man. I think it could be close. I don't think it's going to be like how the Week 14 was. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means, but you never know. They have Dream and Nightmares playing up in that locker room before the game. You better watch out. You better watch out. But it could be a close one, though. It is a divisional game.
Yeah. For the third time.
For a third time.
Giovanni said 33-24. I can see that, too.
For real.
Scrub says, I thought we had a 3-team division.
Yeah. You haven't heard about that other team in a while.
We really haven't, man. We really haven't. Hey, look, Eagles fans, shout out y'all for coming on. Appreciate you, Scrubs, or anybody else. The Giants that's watching, man. Appreciate you guys as well. I hope you lose, but good luck to you. But I hope you lose. Sorry, we can't both continue. And hey, I want it. You know, I think we some hungry dogs right now. Right, we were full a little bit early in the season, but we hungry dogs now, so we should be running a little bit faster. Nobody ever believes in us. You know, it's all this talk about the Giants and the Cowboys are the team of destiny and blah blah blah.
Has it been just me, or has nobody been talking about the Eagles? Is it just because we haven't played? But nobody has been talking about the Eagles.
But you know what happens when they don't talk about the Eagles? The underdogs, the dogs come out. You hear what I'm talking about? The dogs.
I feel like nobody's talking about the Eagles, man. But that's all right. we like to, go and cover night by silence.
Yeah.
It's all right.
That's when the dogs come out. Y'all finna see the dog mask come back.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it.
I want to see the Batman capes too. Bring Batman capes for playoffs.
If you talk about us, make it negative, please. We feed off that. We know that no one likes us, and we know that we do not care.
We don't care. It's a Philly thing. Remember that.
It's a Philly thing. Yeah. I love how they're going with that for the playoff run.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, again, shout out to everybody who watched. Shout out to everybody who hits the replay.
Like, share, subscribe, bring a friend, 2, 3, 4, 5. Be
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many you want? Hashtag be elite.
Hashtag be elite.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly. It's
Gang
playoffs, baby.
It's playoffs. Let's get it.
Playoffs.
Playoffs. You talking about the playoffs?
You know what? Just for that, I'm going to give it to y'all one time before.
What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
I love that forever. Oh, man.
Great.
Scrub says one thing. He was a Giants fan. No one likes us. But we don't care.
We don't.
But with that, y'all, wrapping up another episode.
Y'all be elite.
Back next week.
Stay safe. Hopefully see y'all next week. What a dub.
For that dub. Let's go.
The kick is away, and the kick it's good! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. You just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.